Hey guys, what's up? This is the channel Old Things Pass Away and All Becomes New. Now, I want to cover a couple of things in here, and so be patient with me. First of all, I want to say that I'm really in a debt of gratitude to Rottweiler Records and Sean Browning for giving me the opportunity to try my hand at reviews. I had originally started my debut of doing video reviews when I reviewed both War and Peace by Demon Hunter. I have since re-reviewed those albums and you can check that out here. Now, why I am thankful to Sean Browning is because he's the one that really gave me the push to want to do this in a more serious manner. That being said, I took a long time off. I didn't have a desk, and I was doing everything from the kitchen, and I didn't like the way that it viewed the background of my kitchen, so I decided to not make those kind of videos. I had some other videos made on my other channel, which is called True Counterphobia, which really more covers psychological and philosophical ideas pertaining to God, but that's neither here nor there. Now, I've gotten some free music from this, and I want to thank everyone that's given me free music. I have a lot of reviews to do in a short time, and I want to get more or less caught up with what's been going on in the music scene. So I'm going to try and put my notes to the grindstone and really hash out a bunch of reviews in successive order. So consider this my return to this channel and return to doing reviews on a consistent basis. It seems to be that this is more of a winter thing for me, and during the other seasons that I'm going to be doing more of my other channel. But you know, there has to be a time for this channel, and I really want to do this channel, so I'm getting back into it. I've been meaning to get back into it for a while. I just got a desk, so I figure here's the perfect excuse to get back into it. So I'm going at it now. The second thing I want to cover is I'm revising my criteria for how I'm going to be doing reviews. So let me get into that. Now, the first thing that is going to be the same is that I'm going to be measuring how good something is rather than how bad it is. So rather than detracting points and starting off with a certain number and taking away, I'm going to be giving it a 0 and saying how well do they do this, and that should make it harder for bands to get really close to a perfect score. Now, secondly, what I want to say is that the rating system itself is revised, and instead of 5 points, it's going to be 4 points. So let me get into that now. The first thing is going to be more or less the same. Before I had it as rhythm or backbeat. This is just going to be rhythm. I think rhythm under the umbrella covers backbeat, so I'm just going to be using rhythm there. If you want to consider it backbeat in the song, if it sounds more like a backbeat than a rhythm, that's fine, but really rhythm is going to encapsulate that backbeat. I think most songs have a backbeat, not all of them, but most of them, so that's going to be the new rating there. Secondly, I had it as notes or scales. Now, upon thinking about this for about 2 seconds, I realized, well, notes are scales, so really I don't need 2 categories there. My intention before was to say how were they using notes, and I allowed it for time that an artist wouldn't necessarily use scales, but they would use notes, but I realized, this is just an umbrella term, is to use notes, so that's what I'm using. Thirdly, I'm changing things up quite a bit. I'm taking from 1 or 2 or maybe even the last 3 that I had previously, which I had as rich and complex, composition, and listenability or ambience. And I'm kind of all jumbling those together, except the last one is going to be more pertaining to something else. So what this category is going to do is it's going to be depth. That's going to be, that seems to cover the complexity aspect, it seems to cover the composition aspect, so it's really a broad term to say how was the music composed in a general sense, moving from one scene, if you will, of music to the next scene of music, that can all be rolled into the idea of depth, how the composition of the piece of music goes, how the complexity of the music goes. These are all really in terms of depth of the music. Finally, I want to say that depth can cover a certain atmosphere of the music as well. So that sort of idea of atmosphere is going to lump right in there with the depth. I didn't feel like I really needed a separate category for atmosphere, and so that leads me to the last one, which is listenability. And this is going to be more or less just how is it palatable to the ears in terms of just listening through the song or CD. And this is going to be a broad category based on how the music sounds to the ear nakedly, without really dissecting anything. So that's more or less the categories. Now, the other thing that's going to be the same is that I'm going to be wearing these like I did before, which means that the rhythm is going to be in light of the notes, right? So the rhythm is going to be in light of the notes, and the notes are going to be in light of the depth, and the depth is going to be in light of the listenability. And so for listenability, I want to say it really pertains a lot more to an album as a whole, and that's really what I want to focus on more, is albums and EPs rather than individual singles. I might do a single here and there, but the focus is really going to be on overarching, how does the album sound from one song to the next? Can you start it at any point? Do you got to start at the beginning to really get it? That sort of thing. So yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I do want to try and grow this channel a little bit. That means I'm going to be sharing it, especially on Facebook. Maybe if you guys like what I do, you can share it with whoever you feel like sharing it with. Those likes and those subscriptions really help. Now, I'm really a far ways away from really gaining any money on this thing, and that's not really the goal of this thing, but it's more a hobby, and if it turns into something that I can, make some money on, I mean, why not? It's something that I would like doing for money, so that might get me, put me into gear to take this more seriously too. So, well guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.